So I used to go to this burger place and it was really good. Well, actually, no, it was inconsistent. Sometimes it was really good, but if Jerry was in the back working, you kind of knew like it was gonna be a misfire, or like your chances of a good burger were like less than great. So you go in and you'd peek and you'd see if Jerry was working. And if he wasn't working, whoever else was working, it was probably gonna be good. Point of the story, they were wildly inconsistent, and then I quit going. And I'm sure that it really affected their business. Okay, so I know what you're thinking, but James, I don't make burgers. And that's fine, but how does this apply to you? Well, the work order is as basic as it gets for any business that does any kind of manufacturing, even down at a very small level. You need to know what you're gonna make and what goes into it. For a lot of small businesses, they just know, because it's like you and Joe and that's who makes stuff. But as you grow, pretty soon you need to have some kind of standardized process, or it starts to become a headache because you don't know what you got. So how can you improve that process? Well, let's go through a few steps of how we can build on our work orders. First, and let's call this the basic level, what you really need is a bill of materials. And that's really like, the burger recipe. So it is the materials involved to build this thing, the steps involved, if there are lots of steps, and even maybe sub-assemblies if that's required for your product, and what goes into it and what the finished product will be. And it's that basic, and some companies don't even have that, so it's a good place to start. Second, you're gonna add barcodes. What's that gonna do? Well, you're gonna add a barcode to the work order that can tie into the purchase that the customer made. You're gonna add barcoding to shelves, rows, bins, to products, so that everything gets brought in. You can see what came in, what it went into, and the finished product that went out. So this allows you to track and monitor everything that you've made. The next step, if you've got barcodes, you should be able to add in some time tracking. Or even if you don't add barcodes, you can still add in time tracking. And this is gonna help you see labor costs, so that when Joe goes to make a new product or sub-assembly, he can put that time specific to that process, and you can see how much time was spent for that process and figure out your labor costs, so that eventually you can see your true costs for all products that you manufacture. And finally, you're gonna add in inventory software. You can actually add this in at the very beginning, I recommend it, but with inventory software, you can bring all these pieces together. So you can see what has come in, you can track exactly where it is, where you can receive it from, how much of what you have can go into how many parts. You could literally open your software and see, I have 10 widgets and I can make exactly 4 end products, or whatever it is, and there's no more guessing. Or if you have a massive order about to come in, you can see that, oh, I need to order more product right now so that I don't get hit with the stock out, and we can manufacture these purchases in a timely manner. Lots of scenarios that the software is going to help you avoid problems, it's going to help avoid confusion, and it's going to make your whole work order very streamlined, so that there's no longer a question as to what the process is or what it's going to do in the long run. So remember, you need to make your burgers consistent, or whatever you make. But the point is, I'm hungry and I'm going to get some food, and you should work on your work orders. I'm James, this is Whiteboard Wednesday.